Hi, Representative Hansen. My name is Sean Lopez Murphy, and I'm a former resident of your district. I grew up in Monroe City, Missouri, and I'm submitting this as testimony to you today because I know you're about to vote on a bill that has to do with Christians and gays and their wedding ceremonies. This man, Don Hinkle, who's the public policy director of the Missouri Southern Baptist Convention, he's been a big proponent of this bill to say that Christians should be able to deny goods and services to same-sex couples related to their wedding ceremony. And I've got a common theme of several Baptists in this story. I read on your bio that you're a Baptist as well. I was going to come down to testify, but you can see I live in southern Wisconsin, and it's a 7-hour drive. And since I'm from Monroe City, like I said, I would have gotten to drive through town, but a little bit about Monroe City for me. I learned a lot of my values there about generosity and doing the right thing when it wasn't always easy. And I learned that from a couple of teachers who helped us out when my mom was single, and from our neighbor Louise Dooley. She was another Baptist person who I knew growing up. She lived right next to us, and she was a devout Baptist. And she let us use her house so we could throw our mom her surprise 40th birthday party. That was me and my sisters. This is the house where we grew up, right next to Louise. And when I was 20 years old, I was in college, and I came home one weekend, and I told my mom it was probably one of the hardest things I ever did. I told her I wasn't attracted to girls, and I wanted to change it. And my mom's a really devout Christian. We went to Lindell Avenue Christian Church in Hannibal, and she really discouraged that. She said I'd hurt myself, and so really I just embraced myself. And 20 years later, I married him, my husband on the right, Aaron. And that's on our farm in southern Wisconsin on our wedding day. And we raise pigs on our farm, and when these cute little pigs that the girls are looking at grow up to be big, we sell them to customers. And occasionally someone will come to us and they'll say, we would like to buy a whole pig, maybe like for a hog roast or something. And if a Christian or a Baptist couple came to us and they said, we want to do this for our wedding day, we would never deny providing them goods or services on their wedding day. It's not the right thing to do. It's not legal to do. And that's the same sort of treatment that we're asking for as a same-sex couple. On our wedding day, me and Aaron went back through it. We needed a photographer, a soda maker, a florist, a cake maker, a sawmiller, concrete driver, soup maker, postal clerk, a printer, a table renter, ring maker, innkeeper, electrician, and a publisher. And the publisher is the only one where we ran into trouble. We did get discriminated against. It's legal in Missouri, but it still happened, and we didn't think it was right. So our hometown newspaper's publishing company would not publish our announcement because we were a same-sex couple. They were pretty clear about that. So we started a petition. We got 750 people to sign it, 200 plus people from Missouri, 70 from Monroe City, and 30 from Hannibal, so a lot of people from your district. And they ended up changing their policy. We did it took about 3 months. We did some interviews with the media. I don't even know Sarah Jacobson. She just showed up one day, and a lot of people were hearing about this, and she spoke up in front of the cameras and said, we don't discriminate against gay people in this town. It's not the kind of town I want to have represented in Monroe City. So Mr. Hinkle, in advocating for this bill to allow for this sort of discrimination, said that he loves gays and he doesn't want anyone ridiculed. But I think this is a little bit shallow, and it might be just kind of lip service, because if you really love somebody, like this woman does her son here, you would not do this sort of thing. So I met Brenda when all of this happened with our wedding announcement. She lives in Hannibal. She's a Baptist, and she submitted some written testimony here. She said, "I'm the proud mother of a gay son. He came out to me when he was 16 after about 4 years of agony that the mother who gave birth to him might turn her back on him. But because children are a gift from God and I'm responsible for the emotional building of this gift, I stood behind him. I was raised Southern Baptist, so I knew that fire and brimstone would churn. However, I also know the purity of love between a mother and son, and I knew at that point that I had no choice but to make myself understand something I never had to deal with before. Any parent who turns their back on their child because they're gay is not a true parent. What they need to realize is that they created this life, and they are responsible for his or her well-being. Scientists are finding genetic reasons for homosexuality, and some religions are taking another look at their stance. So why in God's name do we have the self-appointed right to judge someone not like us? Judge not lest ye be judged, or do we just pick the scriptures that mold our own way of thinking? We have raised children that want to be able to express and celebrate their love in the same way everyone else does. Publicly shaming these individuals is just another bullying tactic, only this time it comes from a government who is supposed to be protecting their rights. How can anyone have faith in a government that can be swayed to public opinion as opposed to what is right? It is my prayer that you never have to hold your child while they cry because they've known nothing but ignorance over something that they cannot control. And it's my prayer that you do not allow the state of Missouri to fold to the irrational demands of people who have no idea what it's like to watch while others try to make your child less of a citizen.